This is the finish line of a jaw-dropping police chase that ended near Alvarado with well over a dozen guns pointed towards two wanted men. Our chopper saw it all from above. According to state police, the two men were felony suspects being tracked by DPD's fugitive unit. They were inside this red Dodge when they were spotted south of the city in Ellis County. A chase started and things got dicey. A Hill County constable jumped in the pursuit and was shot. Everything ended here, though, on the southbound service road of I-35 West when the car crashed out from a pit maneuver. But after that, we're told gunfire was exchanged. Look at this trooper's Tahoe, riddled with bullet holes. Eventually, we saw the suspects give up as they were evaluated by medics on the scene. The aftermath kept the service road shut down here for hours as federal agents and the Texas Rangers showed up to investigate. We can pass along some good news tonight. That constable who was shot, we're told he's expected to be okay. He's recovering at an area hospital. In Johnson County, I'm Matt Howerton.